Who was Galen of Pergamon, and what is the systemic Galenic approach? Galen of Pergamon was a prominent physician and philosopher of ancient Rome, who significantly influenced the fields of medicine and philosophy through his extensive writings and teachings. Born in 129 AD in Pergamon, in present-day Turkey, Galen pursued studies across several centers of learning, including Alexandria, Smyrna, and Corinth, which provided him with a diverse medical education. Known for his rigorous scientific approach, Galen aimed to create a cohesive framework uniting anatomical knowledge, pathology, and therapeutic techniques that would serve as a foundation for understanding and treating the human body. His synthesis of theory and practical knowledge, as well as his profound impact on Western medicine and philosophy, placed him at the pinnacle of ancient medical thought, making his work foundational to European and Middle Eastern medicine for centuries. His medical philosophy was rooted in the belief that the human body functioned as an integrated system governed by natural laws and guided by the humoral theory, a system that posited four bodily fluids, or humors, including blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile, and that all are essential to health and illness. Galen argued that a balance of these humors was required to maintain health, while any imbalance would result in disease. This theoretical framework, developed by earlier Greek physicians like Hippocrates, was extensively expanded upon by Galen, who established a more systematic and adaptive approach to diagnosis and treatment based on observation, logic, and a deep commitment to the understanding of human physiology. Galen conducted numerous dissections, primarily on animals such as apes and pigs, due to prohibitions against human dissection in Rome. These dissections allowed him to gather anatomical knowledge that, despite some inaccuracies resulting from his reliance on non-human subjects, provided critical insights into the structure and function of various organs and systems. Beyond his contributions to anatomy and physiology, Galen's emphasis on experimental methods marked a significant departure from previous medical practices, many of which relied heavily on theoretical constructs rather than empirical observation. His investigations into the cardiovascular and nervous systems exemplify his empirical approach. Galen identified the distinct functions of arteries and veins, positing that arteries carried not only blood but also vital spirits necessary for life, while veins circulated blood produced in the liver. Although some of his physiological conclusions were later disproven, his understanding of anatomy and function was groundbreaking for the period, and his methods established new standards for medical inquiry that prioritized observational accuracy and experimental verification. In addition to his medical innovations, Galen's extensive writings integrated philosophy with medicine, reflecting his belief that a physician must also be a philosopher to practice effectively. This integration underscored his conviction that knowledge of ethics, logic, and epistemology were essential for medical practitioners to understand the nature of health and disease comprehensively. In texts such as On the Natural Faculties, Method of Medicine, and On the Usefulness of the Parts of the Body, Galen outlined not only specific medical theories and techniques, but also the philosophical rationale underlying them, highlighting a more holistic approach to health that connected physical well-being with moral and rational thought. His philosophical orientation, influenced by Stoicism and Platonism, emphasized rationality and the pursuit of knowledge, virtues he deemed essential for physicians responsible for human lives. Galen's influence endured well beyond his lifetime, as his works became authoritative texts in both the Islamic world and medieval Europe, shaping medical education and practice for more than a millennium. In the Islamic Golden Age, scholars like Avicenna and Rhazes translated and expanded upon Galenic texts, which were subsequently reintroduced to Europe during the Middle Ages, reinforcing Galen's theories in Western medical schools. While Renaissance anatomical discoveries challenged and eventually supplanted many Galenic concepts, particularly those regarding circulation and organ function, his methodological approach and his integration of empirical observation with philosophical inquiry left an indelible mark on the development of modern medicine. His insistence on understanding the human body as a coherent, integrated, and symbiotic system established principles that continue to inform medical science, highlighting Galen and his legacy as both a pioneering physician and a philosopher dedicated to advancing human knowledge. Galen made many extensive contributions to medicine, anatomy, and philosophical thought, and created a robust, enduring framework that bridged theory and practice. His commitment to empirical research and his holistic approach to health laid critical foundations for the evolution of medical science, while his integration of philosophical inquiry underscored the ethical and rational responsibilities of physicians. Galen and his work, though subject to revision by later scientific advancements, remains a testament to his intellectual rigor and his profound impact on the history of medicine. However, given the nature of the topic at hand, and the focus on systemically sustainable human growth and development, it is primarily the focus of his philosophical approach that makes Galen so relevant in the current efforts. The philosophical approach to Galen and his work centered on a more holistic, even intimate understanding of health and the integrated nature of biological systems, and provides an important framework for contemporary efforts aimed at achieving systemically sustainable human growth and development. The integration of empirical observation with philosophical reflection highlights the importance of viewing health, not simply as an isolated physiological state, but as an integrated and even symbiotic phenomenon encompassing physical, moral, and intellectual dimensions. His approach underscores the idea that true health must consider the collective well-being of society, balanced relationships with nature, and the internal equilibrium of individuals both within and outside the family unit. These are principles that are all relevant to systemically sustainable human growth and development efforts being pursued in the modern age. The philosophy of Galen emphasizes harmony and balance, qualities that are imperative for the continuation of complex systems if they are to remain optimal, or even functional. In his conception of physical health, balance among the four humors within the body is central to both physical and mental stability, mirroring modern ideas of balance within ecosystems and communities for global sustainability and the symbiotic relationship between humanity and the environment. His humoral theory, though now outdated scientifically, further captures a critical philosophical tenet, at least insofar as all parts of a system must function in harmony with each other. This underlying concept must be applied to the contemporary discourse on sustainability, where the integrated or symbiotic relationship between humans and the environment demands careful management to avoid an overexploitation of resources, degradation of ecosystems, and even social inequality of access. Systemically sustainable human growth, thus, must become a systemic process, aligning human needs with the capacity of the planet, akin to maintaining bodily health through internal balance and an adherence to natural limits, be they physical, cultural, or even mental. The insistence of Galen that physicians also be philosophers reinforces the idea that technical expertise alone is insufficient for addressing complex and systemic challenges. In systemically sustainable development, scientific and technological innovations must be paired with philosophical inquiry into ethical and existential questions regarding the purpose and long-term viability of growth. Galen and his commitment to knowledge beyond technical skill advocates and even demands a multidisciplinary approach, encouraging a blending of science, ethics, and social responsibility as humanity seeks sustainable solutions for its future. His example suggests that those guiding development efforts, much like physicians, should possess a deep understanding of the consequences of their actions, a recognition of natural limits, and a responsibility toward future generations. This parallels the need for policymakers and leaders in sustainable development to adopt an ethical perspective that considers both present and future human needs alongside environmental imperatives. His belief in the integrated nature of mind, body, and environment should also be used to inform and direct current sustainability efforts, by suggesting that human health and environmental health are inherently symbiotic in nature, and must remain so for humanity to survive. His view, though centered on individual well-being, aligns with contemporary concepts in planetary health, a field dedicated to understanding how human health depends on the stability of Earth and its natural systems. By addressing the integrated and symbiotic nature of these relationships, the Galenic approach advocates for a shift from purely anthropocentric objectives toward a model of development that equally values ecological integrity. This approach is especially relevant to global sustainability, where the continuation of human life requires recognition of ecological interdependence and a commitment to maintaining the Earth's life support systems. Furthermore, his model, which integrates practical experience with theoretical knowledge, encourages a similar fusion in the pursuit of systemically sustainable human growth and development. His emphasis on empirical observation serves as a reminder that efforts towards sustainability must be grounded in evidence, continuously refined through observation, experimentation, and adaptation to real-world conditions. Systemically sustainable human growth and development is thus not a static goal, but rather a dynamic process that requires continual reassessment and adaptation, much like the medical practices Galen championed. His methodical approach advocates for resilient, integrated, and adaptive systems, designed to withstand and adjust constantly to any and all unforeseen challenges, which is vital for sustainability given the complex and evolving nature of global ecological and social systems. The Galenic approach also holds implications for humanity and its eventual prospects beyond Earth. His philosophy, which values the careful observation of natural processes, the pursuit of balance, and ethical reflection, can also guide the exploration of sustainable life beyond Earth. As humans consider establishing settlements on other planets or in artificial environments, Galenic principles suggest that these endeavors should prioritize the creation of balanced ecosystems and social structures that sustain human life in harmony with the broader environment. Just as his medical philosophy viewed health as a holistic phenomenon, future human expansion must be designed to ensure stability, ecological health, and social cohesion, mirroring the planetary home humanity now seeks to preserve and eventually replicate. The philosophical approach to Galen and his work aligns closely with the goals of systemically sustainable human growth and development by emphasizing harmony, ethical responsibility, and resilience, at the same time being both integrated and adaptive in nature. His insights suggest that systemic sustainability requires a holistic perspective that integrates individual well-being with the health of the environment and society, drawing on multidisciplinary knowledge and ethical reflection. The Galenic philosophy encourages contemporary sustainability efforts to balance scientific and technical progress with an awareness of natural limits and an unwavering commitment to the collective good, both on Earth and as humanity looks beyond its home planet. In this way, Galenic principles continue to provide valuable guidance system for fostering a more viable approach for systemically sustainable human growth and development, suggesting that a commitment to balance, wisdom, and adaptability may ultimately allow for the continuation of the human species.
Please like, share, subscribe, and comment below.